I am not Brian. And the reason for that is because we're trying something a little different with our battle episodes. That's right, this is a battle episode. We're going to have the judges be the hosts. And I'm, the first one to do this. I'm the guinea pig. And so a couple things. You're hearing us a little weird today, a little echoey because of some audio issues and some scheduling conflicts, some timey-wimey, wobbly bullshit. You won't care about it. It's also Will's fault, who is our actual guest today.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, so that's points against your house for this battle.
I don't even know what that's a reference
It's a Harry Potter reference.
Cool.
Yeah.
Will seems like a big Harry Potter guy.
Oh, huge. I got a whole back tattoo of it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Of what?
All of it.
Witness me.
You have every word from all 7 books tattooed on your back?
In
That
the
detailed.
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Art.
Witness me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
Do you see?
Do you
Do you see? Yeah.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah. It was weird taking showers at the fraternity. Everyone would see that shit. Yeah.
At the fraternity.
And remember,
we can get into that later.
it's all canon, folks. So with me is also Brian, who sometimes hosts this podcast. And,
This is the first time I haven't hosted.
Yeah. Giving this guy a break.
It's not weirding me out at all.
Ignore me! And then there's also Chewie and Sam.
Hi. Hey.
Before we get started with this battle and start, yelling at each other, let's do some plugs. Let's start with you, Brian.
Oh, Venture Bros. Every Monday. We are just about... Let's see, when this one comes out on Thursday, on Monday we will have the Season 3 finale, which is a bummer. I'm very sad to see Season 3 go. Sorry, week from Monday. Yeah. I can remember a time wait. But for that episode, why I bring it up now is we have a very special guest lined up, and I'm very excited to have him on. It is our #1 writer at our site, Mr. Matt Dykes, has agreed to be on our episode. So it'll be our first ever international episode on the ATH network, which
sweet.
I'm very excited about. We had to do some very clever scheduling to make sure that we could both be in the same place at the same time, since we're on the wrong side of the planet. But we figured it out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's called dedication.
Yeah.
Sam, what about you? What thing do you have to plug?
Well, every Tuesday you can listen to Samwise, an advice podcast in which I answer any question that you, the listeners, throw at me using the Lord of the Rings extended editions and their special features.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You had that pitch down.
You do. It's like you've memorized it.
It changes a little every time, though. I don't want people to think I'm insincere. I'm just really stoked on
Well, there are people listening for that. Like, oh, she's just saying the same copy. Oh, my God.
I'm done with all these shows.
Fuck this.
Sam's not even a real person. She's just a computer program.
Aw.
Hello.
Much
I'm
rather
Siri.
listen to you when I have to get on like those phone things trying to figure out doctor's appointments.
They're working on it.
Yeah.
Samwise's beta.
Yep.
Like the paid version.
Chewie, do you have anything recently with work and anything like that?
Nah, just keep watching Superstore.
Cool. What about you, podcast ruiner Will?
Drink slow brew. I have nothing to plug. I don't have a Facebook.
Cool.
You have a Facebook. We're friends on Facebook.
I do not have a Facebook.
Then who are you friends with?
Oh, did you delete it?
I deleted it years ago.
Then who are you friends with?
Several years ago.
Some Will Plumber that looks a lot like him.
Shit.
Does he wear pink shorts?
He does wear
I
pink
do
shorts.
wear pink shorts.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Drink
plot
slow
thickens.
brew. Yeah.
Cool. So let's go from that to the section that is the most popular section of this podcast. Where have you been doing? I'll start. I started watching Russian Doll on Netflix. I had a little bit of time between rendering to pop an episode here every now and then there's only 8 episodes, half hour each, so I got through it in the same day.
Do you like it?
I really enjoyed it.
Because I really want to start it.
What is it about?
I like Natasha Lyonne, so I'm in right there.
Yeah, it's Natasha Lyonne. It's got time loopy stuff, and then there's a central mystery to it. And I don't want to say too much more because I went in completely blank. And even the trailer was like, here's some other things that we're hinting at. I was like, don't do that. Like, the trailer spoils a little bit of things that are interesting about it.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
It's super short. Like, 8 episodes, half hour each. You're done with it in a day.
Oh, nice.
So.
Nice.
I'll go. I've been watching a show that I was debating on bringing up or not. I'm just going to go for it. I've been watching a show called Naked Attraction. It's a show that airs around 10:30 p.m. in England. I'm not sure how often because I don't live in England, on Channel 4. And it's a dating show of sorts. I The way to describe it is that you're standing in the middle of a room, and around you there's 6 people, and they are totally stark naked. And you get all the way up in their junks and everything, and you have to decide whether or not you want to date this person based entirely on their naked body. And I know that sounds a little crazy-ish, especially for an American audience, but I can tell you that it works. It's surprisingly engaging. It's not body-shaming at all, which I really thought it would be. As an American audience, you do have to get used to seeing a whole bunch of uncircumcised willies. They do say willy.
Is it like a dog show? Do they like grab their junk?
No, they don't touch each other.
Well,
No touching.
No touching. No touching.
Well, because you said they get all up in there, so all I can think of is like showing their teeth. And, like,
The dog show, like, this one is weighted a little heavier than the other.
There is one where she's like, "Ooh, I like the balls, but I'm not sure about the shaft. Could you lift the shaft up really quick?" And the guy will lift the shaft. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, they got all up into the underside of the
They
shaft.
show
Yeah.
everything.
Yo, they
A lot
show
of the
everything.
shaft action.
Yeah, like
Nice.
Like there'll be ones where like
Nice.
he's like, sometimes I'm just not a big fan of too much labia. So like that one just is a little too much labia for me, but otherwise I think she's gorgeous. And it's just like they get into it. But it's all about
Do you get to see their face?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like when you get down to the final 2, you can hear their voice. Or the final 3, you hear their voice. But until then you have to remain entirely quiet. But the thing is, sometimes you're attracted to somebody based on their voice. So if you have somebody who has that real Cockney British accent and you're not into it, well then, see you later. And it's surprisingly engaging. You get to see them go on their date, which is always ferociously awkward. And then you get to see them 5 weeks later after the date is gone, when usually you find out that they're not dating anymore because this was a horrible plan. But it makes for very entertaining TV, as long as you're okay with seeing an enormous amount of genitals. But to find it here in America is kind of difficult. There are a few episodes on YouTube. There are a few episodes on Dailymotion. And if you get hooked on it, then you're heading over to the wonderful world of Pornhub, where they have everything because there's naked people involved. Pornhub enjoys that, as a matter of fact.
Can we start a dating app that just copies this show?
Why do you need a dating app?
Uh-oh.
I just want to.
Dear Samwise.
I'm just trying to make some money. Dating app. Don't judge me.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's it for me, though. I will,
All right.
let somebody else go.
Chewie, what about you?
My wherever I've been doing has a lot less to do with genitals, like a whole bunch less.
I'm already bored.
I watched the Valentines Day of Bob's Burgers, which is very amusing. It's one of their ones when they go on a little escapade, and then the kids have to come up with their own versions of a story that they recite to their parents. And you know those episodes are always rife with references and amusing things. And this one's about what is the ending of the rom-com that their parents weren't able to finish, and how through the description of this rom-com can they solve their parents' marital arguments and get forgiveness for breaking Jean's bed. It's a very good episode, and for the season of Bob's Burgers, which has felt a little underwhelming because the show's been on for a while now, I thought it was one of their better ones.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Sam, what about you?
For this episode, for this battle, we got Hulu finally.
Ooh.
So I started watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Ooh.
Fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's like so much better. I mean, I knew everybody liked it, but
Right.
it's a lot better than I was expecting, even. And Yvonne Strahovski is so scary. I give her all the awards because she's terrifying.
She's a very underrated actress.
So much. It's like everyone's great, but she has just been this absolute standout, and I want to hate her because she is so evil, but she's so good and so tall and so menacing that I'm just like, whatever, team Serena Joy. So I'm not. She's horrible, but it's really good. I just started season 2 this morning, so I'm really excited to keep going with that.
Yeah, I
So-
wish you were in more things.
If Chuck
Yeah.
came into this universe, he'd be even more intimidated by her.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Imagine if he went to the Mass Effect world.
Ooh.
She's Miranda.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know.
We see a lot of her rear end in that game.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
There's a certain conversation that if you click anything, it's just her butt filling up the whole screen. Way to
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
BioWare.
2/3 of the screen.
It's a good butt.
I should buy a PlayStation.
You have a PlayStation.
I do. I just never use it.
Yeah, I
should
use
buy
it
it
to
again.
watch all the all the Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
extended
this is true. All the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Where have I been doing? I have been watching a lot of a YouTube channel called Internet Etiquette, spelled Internet Comment Etiquette.
Uh-oh.
And basically, this very nice man named Eric Money Salvia goes around and comments on internet videos and tries to teach people how to behave better and be more cognizant of how to be a nice person on the internet.
I think he's
And
losing.
sadly, it devolves into mostly just trolling Ted Cruz and talking about, it just devolves into,
She also ends up on Alex Jones's page once an episode.
yeah, just trolling Alex Jones and Ted Cruz, talking about 9/11 was an inside job, and Ted Cruz is a lizard person. But I highly recommend it.
It's so dumb.
It's the stupidest thing ever, but it's just delightful.
There's something for everyone on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well,
Except for boobs.
There's
that's
boobs.
true. Well,
Naked
No
Attraction is
nipples.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
There's
not
a
many
lot-
episodes.
That's also true. It's about 2 or 3 episodes.
You guys know a lot about shows that feature genitals.
I know a lot about Naked Attraction because I've been obsessed with it for about 5 days, but that's about it.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot you can learn in 5 days.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
It's a lot of genitals.
not even 4 days. I started watching on
How
Valentine's
many
Day.
feet worth of
Weird day to
genitals?
start watching a
But
show
it
with
was a
naked
great day
people.
because Pornhub had the Supreme membership or whatever for free.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, well, you should have taken advantage.
I should have.
Why do you know this?
Dear Samwise.
Slowly but surely,
In
we all find out that
case-
everyone watches porn.
Yes, in case our listeners were questioning this, we know you watch porn, and now you know we do. And your parents watch porn. Your
And we're watching
teachers
you.
watch porn.
It's like that System of a Down song. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Bounce, pogo, 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 pogo.
Yeah. No, Chop Suey.
Okay.
Chop Suey, yeah.
I was thinking of every other song but Chop Suey.
I went for the pogo stick.
All right, well, it's that time. It is time for our battle. And a little bit about this battle. We decided to do the bottom 100 films of IMDb on their ranking. It was originally 250, but we wanted to make it interesting. So I decided for this battle to choose who goes first for it.
Oh, sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I know I'm not the host, but I need to throw a quick shout out to our friend, again, Matt Dykes, who came up with the idea for this episode.
Oh, yes, he
So,
did.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Cheerio, old chap. Pip, pip.
Keep spelling those words with U's. That's an inside joke.
Oh, goodness.
Now
He'll
we'll
get
find
this.
out.
He'll get this tomorrow.
We'll find out if Emily's listening to our show while she's at work.
They'll just be like this. God. But so we're going to do this in the order of the what I guess would be the worst, or in the way I organized it, the best of the worst. So we're going to start with Hercules in New York, which was number 43 on this list. Now, that was Brian's choice. And let me get the little timer thing going. It's 5 minutes, correct? For
Yes.
5 for your defense, and 5 for the rebuttal. And we begin now.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to need all 5 minutes on this, but I'm going to do what I can. So Hercules in New York is a film from, I'm going to say pre-Arnold Schwarzenegger days. So Arnold, yes, is in the movie, as we all know. But this is when he was still Mr. Universe. He wasn't the actor that we all know and love. He was the guy who was super buff, liked taking his shirt off, barely spoke English, and definitely could not act. And it is starring Arnold Strong. So this is even before he thought that Americans could pronounce Schwarzenegger, which we've all learned and now love saying. It's great. But it's a weird little movie. It's a movie where they've decided we need to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to take his shirt off as much as possible and fill in the blanks. And that's really all the movie is. But because of that, you're left with this kind of strange, never-ending onslaught of joy. And I don't know how else to describe it. It is a bad movie on the merits of like storytelling and whatnot. But it is one of the best movies I've ever seen when it comes to just making a bad movie look good. And I would rather watch this than most good movies because of that. And it all comes down to a point, at least in my opinion, of the last 30 minutes. Because up until then, you kind of have this loose story thread of Hercules wanted to go live on Earth. So he goes to live on Earth, and he doesn't really get along with people because he's so like old school, but everyone just loves him because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's just got that raw charisma. He makes friends with a guy. It's just kind of like your standard fish out of water movie. He becomes a wrestler about halfway through it, and that's really where like the seeds are planted for the last half hour. Because when he becomes a wrestler, the mob starts using him because he's a god. You can't defeat a god. He's going to win every single fight. So he's doing great, but then Zeus isn't really happy about him not listening to him and staying on Earth and wants him to come back and basically says, go get him back here. And they send somebody down to go get him, but right before he goes down, they change their mind. And forgive me, I haven't watched this movie in about a week or so now. Somebody basically says, no, let's just take away his powers and punish him, as opposed to bringing him back up to Mount Olympus. So that's what they do. So now Hercules is underpowered before he goes into his big fight. And he's supposed to go into this big fight, and the mob is all betted it for him, so they're going to make a whole bunch of money, like $200,000 in the 70s. So that's a shitload of money. And he doesn't have his powers anymore, so he loses. And the mob is so angry with him. Because, of course, why wouldn't they be? It's very upsetting. So, in just the most bonkers thing I've seen in a movie, especially out of any movie on the table, he gets in a chariot, because throughout the entire movie he refers to all cars as chariots. And then he finally finds a guy in a costume with a chariot, knocks that guy out, steals his chariot, and proceeds to have a race through all of New York on a chariot with the mob, while the mob is hanging out of a cab, firing guns at him, and he's whipping them while riding a chariot through Times Square. They had to shut down Times Square for this weird Austrian bodybuilder to ride a chariot and fight the mob. And this is just like, I can't explain it. You have to see it. It is just so ludicrous that it's like, if you have anything but just the biggest grin on your face imaginable while watching the last half hour of this movie, there's something wrong with you. Like, it's just so much fun because it goes through this whole chase. You hit all these different like big monuments in New York, and then it ends in a paper factory for some reason where they're finally going to throw down, but they don't want Hercules to lose, especially because he's underpowered, so other gods start coming down to help him. And then it turns into, in a paper factory, gods versus the mob. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is exactly what I wanted to see when I thought of a bad movie. And cards on the table, when we decided to do this, my goal was to pick a movie that I had never seen before and hope for the best. And I could not have been more lucky. Because there was 3 movies I was between. I haven't watched the other 2 yet. And I know that they were just bad movies. Because that's the thing. When we're doing this episode, a lot of these movies, I'm looking for something to be entertained by. And there's very little. This one has an entire half hour that is just pure entertainment. And the other hour is okay. It's fine. I mean, I like seeing the fish out of water stuff. Arnold's actually pretty good with his comedic beats. You can definitely see the seeds of, oh, he might actually be a good actor if he had somebody who knew what to do with him. But at this point in his career, he was just known for being this buff guy. So just put him on the screen, pop his shirt off, and you got a movie. But you can see, like, there's a few moments in there where he has to be on point with his comedic lines. There's a few moments that he has to actually try. And when he does, he's good. All in all, I could not recommend this movie more. And I can't just keep blathering about it. But I loved it. That's it for me.
All right, the rebuttal starts now.
My biggest problem with this movie is whoever wrote it didn't really understand his difference between Roman and Greek gods. I mean, they are all carryovers and stuff, but you can't go around calling people Zeus and Nemesis and then stick to Hermes and Juno. I'm like, come on.
But they write about it in the movie. In the movie, they say Zeus or Hermes or. Like, they use both names.
I don't remember them ever saying or Jupiter.
Because you fell asleep in the last half hour.
Wait, so she fell asleep through what you say is the most exciting part of the movie.
She wakes up at 5 in the morning.
But it wasn't good enough. But
she fell asleep before the last half hour. She didn't get to the last half hour.
They waited to the last half hour to address that they.
No. They mentioned it before that. You just weren't paying attention. They mentioned it pretty early on because I agreed with you. Did they ever call
Juno Hera?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Who?
I don't remember their names, but they do. I remember because as soon as you complained about it, I'm like, oh, I need to make sure they actually do say both names because they were using both names for 2 of them. They do for everyone. And then when his best friend finds the book about the gods, he's, oh, it could be Greek or Roman gods, depending on who it is. There's lines in there to address it. They fixed it with a line of dialogue. They saw your note coming.
They saw her note coming, but they couldn't see that they needed to make the first half of their movie entertaining to keep her from falling asleep.
I said it was entertaining enough. You can't keep harping on her falling asleep. She woke up at 5 in the morning. I started a movie at 9 p.m.
Is it the best?
And she had to work.
Okay.
Sorry, it said, and she had to work at 6 in the morning the next day again. So yes, I agree. She shouldn't have fallen asleep, but that's because she was sleep deprived. Continue.
Is it the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Absolutely not. It's not the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's the best Arnold Strong movie.
How many Arnold Strong movies are
There is one, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
Do you think that this movie is the reason Arnold started using his real last name to distance himself from it? Because this is what I'm hearing.
I think that no, what I think happened is that this movie came out. It was okay successful, and it basically just went. No, the only thing in this movie that worked really, really well was people went to see Arnold. They wanted to see Arnold. So there's no point in calling him Arnold Strong anymore because we all know that Mr. Universe is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And if we're going to show up for him anyways, why do we have to keep using his AKA name? We'll just go Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this movie just helped propel him to becoming the Arnold Schwarzenegger that we know and love.
It sounds like an Alan Smithy situation. I don't mean to throw accusations, but I do because this is dumb.
Could this movie have contributed to the current body dysmorphia that men feel?
Oh, absolutely. But that's more the Mr. Universe problem, not the movie. The movie is just, it's cashing in on the body dysmorphia that comes from Mr. Universe.
Did anyone pay attention to Mr. Universe before Schwarzenegger?
I don't know. I'm not here to defend Mr. Universe.
I don't know any other.
I think the movie
Mr. Universe
and Mr. Universe are one and the same at this point. Like turning a competition for the wonderful sport of bodybuilding into a cash grab is insulting.
It's not insulting at all. It worked out great. It gave us one of the best actors. It gave us one of the best action heroes ever on the screen.
I don't think this movie gave that
to us. But it did,
us.
because without this movie, you don't get Terminator, because this was his entry into filmmaking. This is the first people that went, this guy can do it.
Sometimes we try a few different doors to get to the same results, and this sounds like a bad door.
But it was the first
door. Because
he
changed his name.
It was the first door. Without this, there might not be other doors. These were the first people to take a risk on him, to give it a shot.
You're speaking hypothetically, and you sound
So are
insane.
you. We're all in hypothetical land here. None of us made this movie. But I think hypothetically, this is all a very positive experience for everybody involved. You have an idea how many times he pops his shirt off and he's just super built? There's a part where he sees like a play about Hercules. He's like, who is this playing Hercules? He doesn't look like Hercules. He takes his shirt off. This is Hercules. It's like, I love this movie.
His muscles are so stretched out that I feel like I could go up to him with a needle and just he'd fly away.
Yeah, I mean, this is peak Schwarzenegger time of just like, my God, you're big.
To Chewie's name point, it's Heracles. God. Bunch of Philistines. I just can't.
Might as well bring up Samson.
Yeah, this is like the death of culture, this movie is. John, how can you even allow this this man to present this movie at this table?
I also, to be fair, mine was ranked the lowest out of all of ours.
You don't get points for trying,
and
Brian.
I'm not sure
Oh, yes, you do, because they tried so hard.
And I'm not sure how accurate a lot of the laws are in this movie, because they go on.
Oh, I'm sorry that the movie's not accurate laws. Let's talk more about Mortal Kombat and its accurate laws. The beginning of the movie's just breaking laws.
That they can
Get out of here with
wrestle
your laws.
on a boat in whatever territory, international waters, but they're still in the dock area.
That is it.
I didn't
Order,
get to say
order,
my
damn
point.
it, order. Laws.
I was talking about international water laws, not physics.
What about bird laws?
All right. Going from that wonderful display of joy and argumentation, let's go to The Wicker Man, which was number 62 on the list of the top bottom 100 films of IMDb.
Oh no.
And let me get that timer going. You may begin.
The Wicca man.
Oh no.
Pause for interruption.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Interference on the court. Minus 5 points for your house.
Okay, I think I've got this.
Are you ready? You only lost 8 seconds. So.
Yeah.
All right. Resume.
So the Wicca Man. Legit though, this is honestly a movie that I've always liked. I don't understand why it's ranked so low. It follows the story of Nicolas Cage playing a character. It doesn't matter. He's Nicolas Cage. Which is how all Nicolas Cage movies work. That's a feature, not a bug. So he meets up with he gets a letter from like an ex-girlfriend who's like, my daughter's missing. I live on this island. I need you to help come find her. He's a cop in Southern California, in LA.
His name is Edward Malis, by the way.
His
You
name
should
is
know
Nicolas
that.
Cage.
No, his name was Edward Malis.
I mean,
His name was Robert Paulson.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're getting a little close to
Anyway.
interruption here.
Malis, an LAPD officer, goes to an island off the coast of Seattle to investigate for this ex-girlfriend, and he ends up on this completely like female-dominated island where it turns out they were all just trying to lure him into a human sacrifice to get their bees back so that their crops could grow. And it's actually really good satire for how we tend to trust like white dudes, no matter how Nicolas Cagey and ragey, and like his last name is Malis, which is literally like bad, how bad they may be over women who actually have a pretty good thing going on. Like, bees are an endangered species, and these women are just trying to protect them. White dudes that just go around punching bitches, we have plenty of those, and we need a lot less. And so, basically, this is like a really great satire. It's a feminist satire by an excellent playwright. Neil Abute's the director. He's like super cool. I don't know if you've ever seen In the Company of Men, but he's got a lot on his mind. He tends to have a pretty bleak worldview, and I think that people got caught up in like the bear suit of it all, and missed out on like some really great feminist satire. Also, like, yeah, it's just good. You get to see a lot of like weird symbolic imagery. It's definitely the best shot movie at this table. Technically, it looks like a real movie.
Mine has 3D in it, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, Will's movie is not the point. Will's movie would get burnt in a wicker man on this island of women.
That's what he did first.
But no, it's great. They murder this like weird pilot dude because he can't keep a contract, so like off with his head. These women live by their own laws. Ellen Burstyn is great in it. Everyone dresses in these really comfy looking clothes. I like that. It's basically just where I want to live. You know, like an anti-capitalist island away from dudes. No men talk besides Nicolas Cage too, which is pretty refreshing. Yeah, I don't know. Frances Conroy's in it. I love her. If you're into Ryan Murphy stuff. Actually, I feel like this is it's like if American Horror Story were good. And that's what I appreciate about it. Because if Ryan Murphy had the balls to just like follow through with some of his batshit insanity and actually say something, you'd end up with The Wicker Man. And I think that's a very reassuring and wonderful thought indeed. Trying to think of what else I can say. I mean, it's just so good, you know, words elude me. So...
You got about a minute.
I know. I'm watching the timer right now, and I'm trying to think, because
You can give up the time if you want to.
Give me, like, a few more seconds, because there's just, like, I really do genuinely like this movie. I think the music's really good. I think it's interesting, because it plants the idea that maybe these women were manipulating him from the get-go. Like, he sees a car accident with this little girl and this mom, and he can't save them. And I think that he doesn't see them burning up in the car after they get hit. And so I think that, like, maybe they were using some witchcraft. I like that there's hints of supernatural stuff going on, and then it culminates in human sacrifice. I like that we don't know if his cute cop friend, who looks strangely like Emily, which was really nice.
I could see that.
Yeah. Like, I think that she might have been on their side because everyone kind of had that same, like, 1,000-yard stare and the cute braids and everything. So, I don't know. I like that maybe they were just goading him into this and playing up his masculine insecurity the whole time, like, trying to, like, get him to White Knight. Also, James Franco shows up at the end because they're trying to lure him into dying, and I think that's great because more people should be anti-James Franco. He needs to get Me Too'd. The end.
All right. That's it. Let's switch the timer here.
Pulled it together there, you guys.
All right. And now for the rebuts.
How are you going to say it's a feminist piece when it has James Franco in it, first off?
Secondly,
He's
bouncing off
getting
what Will
killed.
just said,
Bouncing off of it.
this movie put money in James Franco's wallet. So this movie helped continue the James Franco problem. Granted, he's barely in it.
It also put money in a lot of women's wallets, though. Like, there were a ton of women that got cast in this movie, and, like, it definitely blows the Bechdel test out of the water.
I mean, but the Bechdel test aside, I mean, the
Does
problem
it?
is...
Aren't they always talking about him or to him?
No, they're often talking to one another about this little missing girl that doesn't exist.
Without him present? Because I don't think I remember any of those scenes.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know what the Bechdel test is.
He's even.
That's a different...
All right, let's be honest.
But
it didn't put that much money in anybody's pocket except for Nicolas Cage's cocaine dealer.
yeah.
And
Like, no one else.
I understand. Maybe it's because we have different eyes and different ways of translating information. Pretty much everything that you were saying, I got the opposite feeling of. Like, I felt like this movie was created to be a cautionary tale towards matriarchal societies and how they will purposely turn men into drones and then murder you when you know, it suits them.
I mean, I just think that sounds nice, though.
Yeah, but like, I totally feel like I don't think that the guy who directed and wrote this, because it was written and directed by the same guy, has any feminist viewpoints and probably actually hates women.
No, he really does. Like, if you look at his...
But here's the
history and
problem.
stuff.
The
but
problem
I think
is
it's really good. I think it's really good satire. I think it's like
I guess satire if you were trying to make fun of people who are afraid of matriarchal societies.
that's exactly
But here's
what
the
it
problem.
is.
It doesn't matter what he was trying to do. The fact that two people can watch it and get the exact opposite opinion means that his voice was not strong enough for the movie.
It was a boring
It's
fucking
boring
movie.
as hell.
How is it boring?
It's got
Nothing happens. It is the most boring. I don't give a crap about the alternate ending with the bees, not the bees. I don't give a crap about the bear suit. I don't give a crap about anything. You took a movie that is one of the most captivating, well-made, amazing horror films ever, and you made a boring remake. Just painfully boring. The original Wicker Man, you can't look away. It is so captivating with every single frame. It is a masterpiece, bar none. And then you get this? This is asylum-level trash. Like, I would rather...
no.
Oh my god, it's unwatchable. It is so boring.
Here's my take on it. It is the worst version of The Shining. The Shining is the best horror movie, or replace it with The Thing, because every fucking moment is creepy. And it is...
Have you seen the original Wicker Man?
I actually have not, which
You should.
I'm going
It's
to.
amazing.
But in a horror movie, everything should lead up to the ending. That should, it should be drawing up that drama level, right? This had 6 interesting parts that were more funny than anything. Like him punching a chick in the face while he's wearing a bear suit.
One of my problems
Hilarious.
with this movie was the editing.
Oh.
Specifically, example is when he gets off the plane. And so then they edit him going up a wooded area, and then suddenly they switch it to, now he's going up a rocky area, but you still see the plane. Where did all the trees go? Now he's walking in this direction where it looks like he's going into a very isolated place where you can't see anything. Cut to, now he's walking up a very well-made trail. I can still see the plane down there. Now there's people up here. Like, where the frick are we?
And it feels just like a really, really amateur, horrible idea of The Shining's The Shining's hotel that doesn't make sense geographically. I feel like they were trying to do that, but just failed.
You guys are looking at it as a horror film, though, and
because it is a horror film.
No, the original was a horror film, and it remade it as a simple, like, human drama. It was more about his internal struggle. Like, it was more about his insecurity as a man. It's a drama. It's not a horror film.
But even as a drama, it doesn't hit these points well. Like, even his insecurity as a man, it's
nothing.
I disagree. I think it's endlessly compelling.
Nothing I've ever seen in the advertisement, like trailer, poster, description, people telling me I gotta see this movie. Do they ever say it's a drama or implies?
But I don't.
drama?
Even
no one
but
ever
I don't.
says it's
either
a
way.
horror film.
Yeah, they do.
Even if it's mismarketed, I don't.
Everything way it's marketed and described to me up until the point of me seeing this movie was as a horror film, but like a campy one.
But like, and I'm fine with a campy horror film. Like, I enjoy campy horror films.
Like my great movie that's gonna win.
Absolutely never.
We will fight. Those are fighting
If
words.
this is compared between your two movies, Wicker Man's the best thing I've ever seen.
Did you hear that?
I said
wanted you to
compared
know.
to Piranha 3 Double.
As an editor, here's what I heard: this movie is the best movie I've ever seen.
Yes, that's
Luckily,
the whole
I'm the
point.
editor on this thing.
At the end of the day, it was a boring movie that has cult notoriety for being Can't be.
All right.
Yeah.
Time. I love it. This is the worst
later.
movie ever. I love you, honey.
Don't hit me later.
We've done the 2 good movies. Now on to the...
Oh no.
Well, so next on this list of joyful filmmaking,
Oh no.
I don't know which are our movies ranked. Which one's the higher?
the next one
You're
at,
next.
at 66
Woo!
is Mortal Kombat: Annihilation.
Yes.
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Yeah.
Let's
And-
play laser tag.
And your time starts now.
All right, guys. So I chose of my own free will, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And boy, I'll tell you, do you want a movie with drama? Do you want it with action? Do you want intrigue? Do you want, like, amazing stunts and pretty good level of casting between men and women? Men and women fighting men and women!
Then
Like-
go somewhere else.
Anything.
There are daddy issues. There are male issues. There are issues between
Like
representation.
letters?
There are
Like letter issues, like people
Letter?
not getting
What?
Like
their
the
mail on
Interference.
time.
Interference.
there are issues on colonization, and it's just like there's so much in this movie, guys. And to break it down, we start out at the end of the first Mortal Kombat movie, and then Shao Kahn comes in and goes, "Oh, you think you won? Bullshit! I'm gonna come over to your planet and take you over. Gonna break all these Mortal Kombat rules, and we
Or
get
laws.
laws, whatever." And then Raiden, who is not Christopher Lambert anymore, because who wants that guy, comes over and goes, "What? No, you can't do that." And Johnny Cage tries to, do his own thing and like the super manly, like, "I'm gonna solve this with my fighting skills." And he gets up there and he gets killed.
That's how I solve all my problems.
So Johnny Cage is out of this movie right away. And then we also got a recast for Sonya Blade. I don't really know the woman who got recast.
Bridget Wilson Sampras. She was amazing.
Well, no, I was talking about the woman who isn't Bridget Wilson Sampras.
Forgettable blonde.
And so then you find out the Shao Kahn is going, are gonna merge our 2 dimensions and I'm gonna rule them together. And so then our, combatants, our mortal combatants, have to go and get some of their buddies to come help fight with the new, threats. And in this movie you find out that, Katana's mom is back from the dead, and now she's one of the bad guys. Family drama. And then you find out that Raiden is actually the brother of Shao Kahn, and then Shao Kahn is getting used by their dad to pit the sons against each other, so family and daddy issue, guys. We have multiple layers to this movie. And so our guys go out and they try to find new people to get. And Liu Kang goes out to the Native American character. I forgot his name and whatever.
That's racist, Chewie.
He's Native American. I forgot his name. Light Wolf or Night Wolf.
There you go.
The guy who plays Night Wolf, his name is Lightfoot. And he teaches Liu Kang that inside of all men is an animal, a primal animal that you must harness to do the ultimate Mortal Kombat. And while Liu Kang is learning about that, he runs into Jade, a scantily clad woman who's going to seduce him, and Trixie, she's actually going to go against him later.
Whoa.
There's layers, guys.
Like a spy film.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so many layers.
Oh, intrigue, drama, and did I tell you that this movie actually did inspire one of our resident real life heroes in this modern age? Elon Musk watched this movie, I'm pretty certain, and went, "You know what? Those balls that travel through the earth really fast are like propelled by air and shit. I'm gonna do that." So now we're gonna get these amazing trains in LA that are propelled by magnets and air.
You said I was
Thank you.
reaching with my movie.
I like you, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
You got 45 seconds.
And also, the production designer of this movie went on to do the entire MCU, pretty much. Thank you, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, for giving us the amazing visuals of Guardians of the Galaxy and pretty much all the other ones, including Doctor Strange and stuff, because he's an amazing production designer. And, yeah,
Is that it?
that's it. I'm good.
All right,
Yeah.
20 seconds
Mortal
to
Kombat
spare.
Annihilation, guys.
All right, let me get this switched over.
Can I just boo for 5 minutes?
I think I have some salient points.
All right, then let's get started.
Hey, I
5
left
minutes.
everyone speechless.
I saw this movie in theaters when I was maybe like 8.
Me too.
And I remember vividly turning to my dad and being like, so that's what a bad movie is. Because this is the worst piece of garbage. Like this video game has no plot. I would assume I haven't played a video game in a decade.
There is a
but
very loose, kind of shitty
Sure.
plot to Mortal Kombat. Thank you very much.
it's pretty loose and shitty.
it's-
But
it
you
is
got
about-
all the room in the world. Just make something up, and
It
then
is
this
about
is what you come up with.
Believing in yourself, and it's about finding that inner primal monster to fight another monster, and how
That
you
sounds
just-
messed up.
to get together and teamwork and save the
literally-
world.
First off, this movie pulls from the worst of Mortal Kombat. Like, Mortal Kombat is a franchise that has had its problems. And this movie went, let's highlight them.
Okay,
and
here's
it
the
made
thing.
it amazing.
Here's the thing, like, you guys know I don't play video games, right?
Right.
Mortal Kombat is pervasive enough in culture that I know it.
Yes.
And the one character I can name is Johnny Cage.
Yes.
And they kill him right away, which seems really stupid.
Well, he's
'Cause it means
not
that-
that fun of a character.
I
He
mean,
can do the splits and punch people in the nuts. And
And
that's
he
pretty
puts
much
on
all
his
he's known
sunglasses.
for.
that's everybody in Mortal Kombat, though.
No,
They're
they
just,
don't
like,
all do the
fighting.
splits.
That's true. And
That's
I
his
know,
one claim to
the
fame.
one lady in the new game has like a scorpion tail and turns like, and then it turns like X-ray. But this all seems way less interesting than that. Also, do they ever explain how two brothers live in different dimensions? Like, does their dad live in a third dimension?
So during the Civil
Was he
War,
just
two brothers lived in the
interdimensionally-
north and the south. You get separated.
That's different
You have
than
different
Geography, not
ideologies.
interdimensional.
So they like introduce.
They are interdimensional time hoppers or whatnot.
So
they
they
are
turn
not.
Are they time cops?
They are
Because
not.
that would be more interesting.
They are not limited by our very basic earthling knowledge
But
of
that's
time
the
and
thing.
space.
They introduce these concepts that seem kind of interesting, and then they just shit all over them. It's like they
Yeah.
were setting out to make the worst version of a movie.
It's
All
kind
of
like,
it's bad.
It just feels like you know what the producers is about. Like, if we make a bad enough play, we'll make our money back.
Yeah.
This is like that, the movie, because it's just like
This is Springtime for Hitler.
this
Yeah.
is Springtime for Hitler.
But I love
And
that
here's the-
song.
Everybody does.
It's a good
That's
song.
why it
I
made
give
too
the-
much
Really
money.
I
catchy.
do have to call it a weird moments in this movie where the screen just fades to black for a second and then pops back out.
The blackness of your soul.
That was your
and
brain
how it's trying
shutting
to be
off.
conveyed
That was
in
just
this
them
movie.
going, we're out of ideas. we don't know how to do transition.
Even the neutral judge is arguing against your movie. This is wild.
Can we also bring up, it's a movie about fighting and none of the fighting is all that good.
Yeah, especially
It's
the first
all
Mortal
really bad.
The first movie is like, we just need to put as much quality fighting in a movie as possible, and we'll just kind of shackle a plot in there as we go along. This one did the exact opposite. No, we're going to focus on the plot. What about the fighting? That's the only reason we're here. Well, we spent all our money on the plot, so how do you guys feel about waving at each other quickly? This movie's fighting is so bad it makes fucking Iron Fist look good.
Oh, God. You've gone too far.
I think in terms of like relevant fight scenes in this battle, it's clearly the paper factory in New York,
Yes.
followed by Bear Punch Suit,
Yes.
followed by Piranha Attack to Mortal Kombat.
No, Piranha, we're going to
In
get
my-
to Piranha Attack.
in my
Let's stay on
movie-
focus here.
Yeah. My movie, a dude who decides to go through an intense amount of surgery to get robot arms, eventually learns that he needs to believe more in himself and rips off those
Which
robot
is
arms and then wins
Fucking
the
blasphemy!
battle.
That is so.
That's so dumb.
That is so stupid. Jax's metal arms are like the coolest thing about him. And his
yeah.
way to get rid of it.
Well,
They
this movie-
ran on a budget. You
this
know that's
movie
why.
wanted you to know that you don't need robot arms
The
to
actor
be
just
a
washed
man.
his sleeves.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out too that Chewie, this whole Elon Musk thing is all that's not like a real thing.
How do you
That's
know?
all
Are
allegedly
you
because
friends
he
with
would
Elon Musk?
No, because he would have gotten high and tweeted about it by now.
No.
Let's be real. The man would have been done microdosing and been like, you know what's dope? Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's allowed on Mars with the prequel.
I
a person you want to take movie
I don't
rights
follow
from.
his Twitter, so I wouldn't know.
Elon
If he
Musk-
did that, he might have.
Elon Musk has never seen this movie because if he had, it would have made him stupider, and therefore nothing. He wouldn't have done anything with his life. This is why we're all kind of failures. Because we watched this movie at a younger age and just said, "Fuck it, I'm over it."
It's like I'd be an accomplished film director by now had I not seen this movie in my
You know,
Yeah.
sit down. Witches come and scream in all your faces about how you're all wrong.
And
Can we talk about
die.
how boring Annihilation
right.
the character was?
Mortal Kombat. It's over.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about the best movie.
Ugh.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitches.
Well, let's set it up here.
Different
Alright.
movie.
A good movie. That was a good movie.
Compared
I
to
don't
Was
like
it?
Thunderdome that much, but it's better than this shit.
it really is.
all right, everyone.
What is it like not having a heart?
It's Tina Turner playing the saxophone.
That part is awesome.
Oh,
So
any
dope.
movie
and
with a
Master
saxophone is great.
Blasters.
Yes,
Yeah.
Master Blast. All better than your shitty movie. Please
Fine.
continue.
Thanks, guys. Great for the
Let's
self-esteem.
not blow our steam too early.
Wicca Wicca Piranha 3D.
There was someone was blowing
doesn't work as
something in
much.
this movie, and it wasn't steam.
I mean, yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, cool. Now with that awkward silence, coming in at 74 on this IMDb list is Piranha 3DD. And I'm going to start the clock now, and you've got 5 minutes.
Welcome to the best fucking movie on this list, motherfuckers. First off, it's 3 double D. I don't do that face at me, Brian.
It's a very
I don't
judgmental
appreciate it.
face for
That's
those who
fine.
can't see it.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah.
getting to the point.
Faces are allowed.
So, Piranha 3 Double D tells the... It's just the most entertaining movie on this list, is why we're into this. Why I'm into this. Basically, David Koechner, that's his name, right?
Yes.
Yeah. David Koechner and his stepdaughter own a water park. And his stepdaughter is at marine biology school, away from wherever.
Killer Frost, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. So she comes back home from school to find out that David Koechner has turned it into an adult-themed water park called the Big Wet. Basically, he's the mayor from Jaws. God damn it. David Koechner is the mayor from Jaws, and he has been illegally pumping water in from the underground to save money. Turns out the piranhas from the first film have found their way into the pool system because they are attracted by the chlorine. And ultimately, people start dying, and it's awesome. And why it's entertaining is because A, it has 3D. B, you learn that David Koechner plays the best scumbag ever and gets his head fucking chopped off. Child's head gets eaten by a piranha. The piranhas learn to walk. They tremors too.
Are you going to just keep referencing better movies, or are you going to tell us why
I'd
yours
so
is
much
bad?
rather watch
even-
Tremors 2 than
You know-
this piece of shit.
That's what I mean.
Continue.
If you can.
Maybe the all-star cast?
Can I just switch to Jack and Jill now?
Better movie.
Can I just switch to Jack and
That
Jill?
movie,
No.
Damn it!
that movie has a man playing
Okay.
a woman, and that movie's better to women
I
than
forced
this one.
pledges to watch Jack and Jill in college.
Anyway,
But-
can you please
I
at least talk about Paul Scheer?
Paul Scheer is in it. He's great. He replays his role from the first one of a guy that films Girls Gone Wild videos. Ving Rhames is of course in it. He's got a shotgun for a leg. And they both have a great character arc of learning to not fear the water anymore.
When you're ripping up... Has it done 5 minutes yet?
We got 2 minutes left.
2
Son
minutes
of a
left.
bitch.
Yeah. So David Koechner.
Coming back to this.
He's the best
Is
part
that
of
the
this
one
movie.
name you memorized?
Yeah, pretty much. Like there was anyone else important in this.
Daniel Panabaker. She's great. Not in
Gary
this.
Busey was in this.
Oh,
He bites a piranha's head off. Yeah, that was good. There's a lot of titties in it. Yeah.
no, there isn't.
There was a decent amount.
It's basically one woman. She's a playmate, and that's about
No,
it.
there was like No.
I was actually disappointed
She's-
in the number of titties in this movie.
Thank you. You called it
But
3.
not in the
That's
number
still
of
his defense
Christopher.
time. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying.
not in the number of Christopher
Interference.
Lloyds.
Interference.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's in it. And, you
He
know.
did show up and cash a paycheck. You're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, he believed in something.
Uh-uh.
All right, I give up. I should have chosen Jack and Jill. God damn it.
All right. We will...
I could mount a good defense on Jack and Jill right now, but
All right.
chosen poorly.
And now, for the coup de grace, the last 5 minutes. What do you got for him?
So he didn't mention the fact that at one point a piranha swims inside of a woman's vagina
Yep.
and lives
Yes.
there
Yep.
for days.
Gross.
How fucking gross
This
of an
movie
idea. Like,
was
that's not even
made-
entertainment. That's just...
No,
And
this,
that belongs in a David Cronenberg movie. How
no,
dare
no,
you
Da-
shit on that?
David Cronenberg has a better idea of a female's anatomy and how it works than this movie does.
This
this
is a movie
movie-
called 3 Double D. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going for reality
You
here.
know, you could put it in a
No.
Kingsman movie and be fine.
But
Yeah, that'd work.
That just make it worse.
Oh no! Why did we bring that up? Why
seen-
isn't that on the bottom?
I've seen my share of bro films.
Yes,
And
please.
this movie is a movie created by dudes who I'm assuming carry around date rape drugs.
No.
The feeling I had while watching it.
No, they'd have a better sense of female anatomy.
Yeah, I
if
was
they
gonna
did.
say,
I
like,
guess maybe.
Like,
I was
this
like,
is a
this
movie
is-
where there's a piranha in another dude's ass. I don't think these guys are.
I just imagine being on this movie set and then the director, the DP, and every other guy is just going the whole time. This movie is a movie that was essentially made by Beavis and Butthead.
No, that would
And
still be a better movie.
I
They're
don't
funny.
know.
Yeah, because Mike Judge made them.
Yeah, like they're legitimately funny. Like that's the problem.
This
movie
movie's
is
awful.
it's not
Like,
a
I-
horror movie. It's
also
not a
a-
comedy. It's just offensive to men, women, people, fish somehow.
Science.
Science. Like it's just
You guys, is this the worst thing David Hasselhoff has been in?
Maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
He was in the SpongeBob movie.
David
Like
Actually,
I do
really
want to
like
say,
this.
I
So
do
did
want
I,
to
but
say
it's
that
got bad
this
reviews,
does.
You said
This
that
film
you enjoyed
does-
when Chet, the guy running the
Like his, he'd
when
be named anything else.
When his head gets cut off,
That was pretty entertaining.
it is cut off by a plastic string.
and he's going like 3
How?
miles per hour.
Yeah, what's your point?
How?
the movie-
And then
hold on.
It's
we
an
have a
excuse
comedic
for
bit
gore.
where he
Alright, so-
runs
okay.
over and murders a little girl.
Ha!
But like that's the thing. Like the entire movie is just it doesn't matter. You have the first
Go on.
Piranha, which the Piranha, like the first movie, it's not a great
We're
movie.
talking about the original.
No,
Like,
that
not the
movie's
James
shit.
Cameron.
I'm
film.
talking about the Alexander Aja one. That's the one. That's what this is a sequel to.
3D. Yes.
3D. Sorry. So like that movie, it's not the best movie in the world, but it understood what like parody and it understood like commentary and it understood that you can be stupid while being smart. It knew that like if I'm going to do commentary on this, that, and the other, I can do it with naked women, with being over the top, with having the super bro dude filming the naked chick swimming underwater, and have it be a commentary and funny and have something to say and have good effects. Like you can do these things with this sort of movie. And these guys went, huh, titties. And that's the whole movie. And even that would be better in different hands. Like this is just like, it's not titillating for sure.
There weren't even good titties. Like
Yeah,
that's
like-
the thing. It fails
And
as
also-
like a nasty movie.
Exactly. If all
It
you want to
was-
do is have naked women and violence, you got to do better than this because the violence is terrible. It's just carbon copy of the original, but cheaper. And then the nudity is just weird. It's just like Naked Attraction has
ugly.
more believable like.
This movie's ugly. Yes. You can't even make the boobs look nice. Like, we looked up the cinematographer of this film. He never shot another movie after this. He's been a camera assistant.
Oh no.
Like, it's bad.
Like
Or
this is
camera operator assistant. He's been those. We looked at his IMDb. No more DPing. He was done after this.
Like the movie, it's offensive to the senses. Like the fact that this is the one that's like the best reviewed out of everything on the table is just mind blowing. Like I'd rate.
That's what I think.
I would
That's
so
the
much
most
rather-
upsetting thing.
I'd
is,
rather watch
like,
Mortal Kombat again, and I hated Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I wish
Annihilation,
you-
not the original.
I wish
No,
you
yeah,
had
of course.
chosen Jack and Jill, because then at least there's like a thought there.
Yeah,
You know.
At
Yeah,
least
it's
you have Al
advertising.
Pacino making commentary on the role that he's currently playing with his lines. At least you have that in Jack and Jill. This has nothing for anyone. There's
And it has a
nothing.
guy who's surrounded by naked women, and he still chooses to be by himself and whack off in a tube, water pump, then go actually look at those women.
Yes, that is
I
a point
do,
in your movie.
Yeah.
I do forget that part. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Why? It's also, you've got actresses who are really funny with, like, Danielle Panabaker and then the girl that was Cherie in 30
Katrina
Rock.
Bodwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And neither of them get to do anything.
No, they make Katrina Bodwin get down on her knees and beg someone to have sex with her in the most
I don't
uncomfortable
want to
scene.
die a virgin.
She literally,
and
like-
it wasn't parody. Like, this is supposed to be her having a serious moment where she thinks she's dying, and this is her priority.
Yeah, and she's, please have sex with me, please. It's
Don't
so,
take me to a hospital.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable and awful.
Oh.
Now that we're not arguing, when I watched this movie, I messaged our group saying this movie's so bad I want to walk out of my apartment.
Yeah, it's
was-
fair. I
I wanted to start throwing things at our TV.
She
In
was
my
bad for 2
defense,
solid days.
I
2
totally
uncomfortable days in our
forgot
apartment.
about this movie, and I saw it, and I was just thinking, oh, I like Piranha 3D. That was a good movie. And, like, I think I might have watched this pretty drunk one night. And
I think that was the sake night.
about 8 years
Okay,
ago.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant that
Oh
I
yeah.
rewatched it. 'cause
No,
we
I
had
have
a
never
lot
watched
of
this movie
sake.
sober. But when we had chosen it, like, I couldn't go back. Was my
It
understanding.
is not a good sober watch.
All I'm saying is Jack and Jill
I
is
forgot
a
to bring
phenomenal
up for
movie.
You, Sam, all of the guys that are heads on that movie were guys from Project Greenlight, so they're probably friends with Ben Affleck.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't know what those
late
are.
for
We can't admit that into the evidence.
I know, but I'm just letting you know. This
All right.
movie
Before
was
you
made
rewatch
by
Piranha
total
3DD.
shit people.
Okay, so for the winner of this, a few factors kind of had to play into mind is your argument, your defense, more so kind of what people could come up with against your movie is where I was leaning with this one because I was curious. I was entertained by these in different ways, and I wanted to see if people could make me actually not like them anymore. And I think the only movie that couldn't, like, no one seemed to quite get through the armor on was Hercules in New York.
Hell yeah, it was.
And I think for the last place, because of an admittance of wanting to change the movie, it has to be
Listen, go watch. Do yourself a favor. Go watch Jack and Jill, starring Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler. It's great. Al Pacino's in it.
I bought
They
that
make
movie as a gag
puns.
gift for somebody once.
I forced pledges in the fraternity to watch it as hazing.
It's just too long.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. It's like 2.5 hours.
It's just a
too
commercial.
long.
good game, everyone. Good game.
Hercules.
This experiment of yours of just picking one and hoping for the best has paid off.
It worked out really well.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. And I actually enjoyed the movie. Like, joking aside, that last half hour, I was giggling the whole way through.
It was the hardest one to push against. It seemed to be. Man, you bring Samson into that with Apollo and Samson. Holy balls. Okay, so that's it for Samson. So that's it for this episode, this battle episode. Brian is our new champion.
Woo woo! It's been a while.
Yeah. So we should do some plugs before we go. And if you know what episodes are coming up, you can do that too.
Yeah, so coming up next week, we are finally going to talk about Mission Impossible Fallout, movie earlier last year. It's the most successful of the Mission Impossible franchise, and I cannot wait to try to figure out why this one. Not saying that it was bad, but I'm curious why this is the one that connected with everybody. And then coming up after that, maybe hot off its winning Best Picture, who knows, is Roma, which I'm, again, very excited to talk about. And I didn't know where to place that one because we do things after the hype, and that one was available for home video right away. So I thought, wait till after the Academy Awards. It'd be the good after the hype window. And then this is a way long shot plug. We are going to do a sequel to this very battle, and I'm excited to do it, where we're going to go to the IMDb Top 100, and we can pick anything off of that, and we're going to do a reverse battle. We have to describe them as if they are the worst films we have ever seen. So we're going to do a reverse battle in every way, shape, and form to this one, and I'm not sure when that one's coming up, but that one is on the calendar. Then other plugs, of course, Venture Bros every Monday. Just about done with season 3. That'll be this upcoming Monday-ish, next Monday-ish. Calendars are fucking weird in my head. And then we have season 4 coming up, which is amazing. And it's so weird. And the ad campaign was, it's time to jump the shark. And I think that is unbelievable. And I'm so excited to talk about it.
Nice. I'm almost caught up to you guys. So
Ooh.
I can't wait to see where it goes.
Season 4 is amazing. It's some good stuff.
Cool. How about you, Sam?
I've got Samwise every Tuesday. If you want to ask a question, you can dial 608-561-2755, or you can reach out at sam.wise.ath@gmail.com. And also don't forget to visit our website, athpod.com, because there's articles currently every Wednesday and Friday, and we're hoping to start bringing even more your way. It's good stuff.
And all that good stuff from our friend Matt,
Yes.
who is the originator of this idea.
Yeah, and I have to mention, Matt has written an amazing article that should be out hopefully now. You guys will probably know better than I would, but his Babylon 5 article, if you have not read it yet, around the table, you have access to it. It's not online yet, but it is incredible. He does such a good deep dive. It's like 9 pages, single spaced in a Word document. Like, when I say deep dive, I mean it.
He was giving us a play-by-play of writing this. He's like, I tried to edit it and add more pages.
like if you've ever been curious about Babylon 5 at all, this is where you need to go. Like, he did such a great job.
Yeah.
And he's very proud of it too, which is saying something, because if he's at all like me, anything I make, I'm like, that could have been better. But this one, this is the one to read. If you've not read anything of his yet, this is a good one.
Cool. Anyone else have anything else to plug? Is that it? Cool. We are done here. Thank God. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.